When you think about the big players in AI, a couple of names probably jump to mind immediately. But there's another one, kind of flying under the radar, that has quietly become the trusted partner for some of the world's most serious industries. That company is Anthropic. And today we're going to break down exactly what they're selling and who's buying it.
All right, let's just kick this off with a number that really tells you most of the story. $183 billion. That's the mind-blowing valuation for Anthropic in 2025. A number that big makes you stop and ask, okay, what on earth are they building that's worth that much?
So their story actually starts with a pretty major philosophical disagreement. Anthropic was founded back in 2021 by a group of top researchers who left OpenAI. And they left with a very specific mission. They wanted to build AI that was fundamentally safer and more controllable right from the very beginning. This wasn't just about starting a new company. It was about forging a whole new path for AI development.
Which, brings us right to the heart of what we're talking about today. What are the actual products driving that insane valuation? And maybe even more important, who is the type of customer that chooses Anthropic over all the other options out there? Let's get into it.
See, to really get what Anthropic sells, you first have to get them. You have to understand their foundation. Because the way they've built their company and their technology is probably their single biggest selling point, especially when they're talking to massive businesses.
So unlike basically every other tech giant, Anthropic is a public benefit corporation, or a PBC. Now what that means is they have a legal duty to balance making a profit with doing public good, in their case, the responsible development of AI. Now if you're a business in a super high-stakes field like finance or healthcare, this isn't some fluffy marketing line, it's a legal shield. It gives them a kind of stability, a promise they won't just chase the next shiny object that other companies just can't offer.
And this focus on safety is literally coded into their tech through this core idea they call constitutional AI. So how does it work? Well, instead of just training an AI on human feedback, which can be messy, and full of bias, Anthropic's models are trained on a set of clear principles, a constitution, pulled from things like the UN Declaration of Human Rights. The AI learns to judge and fix its own work based on these rules. It's kind of like giving the AI a built-in conscience, which makes it way more predictable and a lot less likely to generate something harmful or bizarre.
For a business, this has two game-changing benefits. First, it scales like crazy. Because the AI is helping train itself, it's way more efficient than having thousands of humans checking its work. And second, it's what they call steerable. Businesses get a much clearer look under the hood and way more control over how the AI acts, which is, absolutely essential if you're going to trust an algorithm with important jobs.
All right, so with that foundation in place, let's look at the products themselves. Anthropic's main offering is the Claude family of AI models, but this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. You should really think of it as a specialized toolbox, with a different tool designed perfectly for every kind of business need you can imagine.
They've smartly broken their models into three main tiers. Each one is fine-tuned for a different balance of raw power, massive scale, and pure speed. You've got Opus for the really heavy lifting, Sonnet as the balanced, everyday workhorse, and Haiku for those times when every single millisecond is critical.
Let's start at the very top with their flagship model, Opus. If the Claude family is a toolbox, then Opus is that incredibly advanced, high-precision power tool you bring out for the toughest jobs. Its whole purpose is pretty simple, to be the best AI engineer on the planet.
And what's crucial here is that Opus is built for customers with the most ridiculously complex problems. We're talking about massive software development projects, deep scientific analysis, or long-term strategic planning. And this isn't just them talking a big game. It's ranked #1 on the main software engineering benchmark, beating the models from both OpenAI and Google when it comes to writing code.
Okay, next up is the model that, let's be honest, most businesses are actually going to use day-to-day, Sonnet. This thing is the engine that's going to power the modern enterprise.
Sonnet just hits that perfect sweet spot between being smart, being fast, and being affordable, which makes it perfect for running in the background of most software apps. Plus, it has this wild feature called computer use. It's an API that lets the AI literally take control of your software. Clicking buttons, typing in fields, just like a person would, to automate these incredibly complex tasks.
And that brings us to Haiku, which really rounds out the whole portfolio. If Opus is all about power and Sonnet is about balance, Haiku is about one thing and one thing only, pure, blistering speed.
This model is engineered for any task where a delay, even a tiny one, is a total deal breaker. So think live customer service chats, instant translations, or content moderation that has to catch and block something harmful before a single person sees it. For those kinds of services, Haiku's practically instantaneous responses are a total necessity.
So we've covered the what, this tiered family of safe, controllable AI models for pretty much any business case. But the who? Well, the who tells an even bigger story about Anthropic's entire strategy. Their client list goes from cutting-edge fintech companies all the way to some of the most security-obsessed organizations in the world.
And honestly, this revenue chart says it all. A whopping 75% of their money comes directly from businesses using their APIs. This is not a company that's chasing the latest consumer trend. They are, at their core, an enterprise infrastructure company. They're building the reliable plumbing that other businesses can build upon.
And the results that businesses are getting are just staggering. Just take the fintech giant Klarna. They said that their AI assistant, which is built on Claude, is doing the work of 700 full-time human agents.
The sheer scale of that is almost hard to get your head around. In its very first month online, that one AI assistant handled 2.3 million customer conversations. That was 2/3 of their entire customer service volume, just automated.
And the result wasn't just cutting costs. It was actually a better experience for customers. The average time to solve a problem dropped from 11 minutes all the way down to just 2. That is the kind of real bottom-line impact that defines what Anthropic is selling.
So, when you put all the pieces together, the unique corporate structure, the safety-first technology, the tiered products, and that relentless focus on business, you see the bigger picture. Anthropic isn't just selling another AI model. They're trying to become the fundamental operating system for enterprise AI.
And this is where you see their strategic genius. Unlike their rivals, who are often tied at the hip to one cloud provider, Anthropic has made powerful friends everywhere. They have deep partnerships with Amazon's AWS, Google Cloud, and now Microsoft Azure. This tri-cloud strategy makes them totally independent. It means no matter what cloud a company uses, Anthropic can be their AI partner, which is a massive, massive competitive advantage.
And it all leads to this really clear snapshot of the AI world in 2025. You can think of the big 3 players like different executives in the C-suite. OpenAI is your chief creative officer, just brilliant at brainstorming and creative tasks. Google is your chief science officer, the absolute best at deep data analysis and research. And Anthropic? They're the chief engineering officer, the deeply trusted, super reliable expert you bring in to build and run your most important, most critical systems.
And that leaves us with one final, really important question to think about. For the last few years, the AI race has felt like it's all about flash and creativity. But what happens when businesses move from just getting a little assistance from AI to actually delegating entire jobs to it? The whole game changes. In that new world, is it possible that safety, control, and absolute rock-solid reliability will become the most valuable currency of all? Anthropic is betting their entire $183 billion company that the answer is yes.